Well, McLaren brand, which we all know, of course, about, is finally in India. जी हाँ, उनका official formal launch with the showroom in Mumbai has happened, and there are some very beautiful cars that have been lined up for the Indian customers. So that's the great news. In fact, McLaren की India plans और क्या है? What is this brand looking to get? Let's find out more from the top team at McLaren Global, and of course, the person who's handling this brand in India. Let me introduce to you Mr. Paul Harris, who's from McLaren Automotive, and Lalit Chaudhary, who we all know, of course, heads Infinity Group in India. Thank you very much, both of you, for your time. Paul, first and foremost, McLaren, as we know, is a brand which people are already very well aware of. The kind of expectations that you think India will fulfill when it comes to this brand, what is it that you're setting? And where do you see the Indian market grow from here, and the products and the lineup that you're showcasing?
I think to answer that question very easily, we tend not to set targets as such, because we're very much a customer driven, our customer individualises their car and driven by their demand. So our target very much is really to be here in India for a population that's growing in terms of its capability to understand and experience sports cars, and very much for us to grow the brand in terms of that understanding and expectation of what McLaren's all about, which is ultimately very fast, super lightweight, super high performance vehicles. That's really what we want to get across to the Indian population.
Absolutely, and I think that is what is recognized now with the way the luxury brand and the super luxury brand is growing. And who better than you, Lalit, can wet this. आपने इस स्पेस में बहुत साल बिताए हैं. You've seen what the customer wants. आपने देखा है कि उनकी demands and the way they are now craving for a brand like this. पहले तो आपने आपका experience with McLaren, and how do you see already the kind of feelers you're getting from customers or prospective buyers?
Well, thank you. Experience with McLaren has been awesome so far. Indian consumers, like everywhere in the world, want cars as and when they launch in the international markets. So it's very important कि हम लोग जो भी brand internationally launch करता है, we bring it to India at the fastest possible juncture. And one noticeable trend has been that these customers not just step into the brand, but they take the best that the brand has to offer.
Right.
And this right here is one such example. Consumers in India are changing, they're evolving, they're catching up with global trends. पैसे खर्च करने में they're not taking a back seat or shying away as they did in the past, and that's good for the economy, and it's good for consumption in general, and luxury consumption is something that Indians have had a long history of back in the Maharaja days. It's coming and manifesting itself again now.
Life comes a full circle.
Yes, life comes a full circle, and there's still some ways to catch up with regional and more developed markets, but I think we're well on a firm footing to getting there.
Okay, wonderful. And quickly, Paul, my last question, because I know there's a lot of people lined up to talk to you, but just to get a sense of the way Indian market and the way you see it perform in your overall global portfolio. Obviously, these are handful of cars that sell, and you want to keep that number, that much. Where is India in that scheme of things, and the potential and opportunity that you see of India in the long term?
Yeah, okay. I think we've got to break it down. I mean, you're quite right in terms of it's like a golden droplet in relation to the overall global scale for McLaren. But very importantly, with a country of this population size, it's very important that we create a fan base. So that starts, I think, in F1, and then it comes across to automotive. So understanding and appreciation of McLaren, the sports cars that we make, how we make them, how we make our customers feel very engaged, I think is absolutely crucial, and that would be a measure of our success in terms of how the mass population understand the McLaren brand, and more importantly, how engaged our unique droplet of customers at the top end are with us in terms of engagement. And looking at this 765 LT Spider, I think that we've got a classic example of where they really do understand it.
Absolutely. I think the half of the work is done in that sense. But quickly, last question to you, Lalit. Products जो अभी हम डिस्प्ले पे देख रहे हैं, are they available for the Indian consumer? Because जो हमें देख रहा है इस वक्त, उसको यही समझना है कि ये गाड़ियाँ उनको कब मिल सकती है?
बिल्कुल. Nothing here is not on offer. In fact, the 765 LTs, what you see are just a couple of units coming into the country. They're all pre-ordered, and it's part of a limited number of cars being produced globally. And the other models that we have, the 720S and the GT and the Artura coming up, are production models which will be available on offer continuously. And yes, customers are looking forward to these models. And then while we already have 720S and GT's already made its way into the Bollywood
Yes.
customer fraternity. The Artura is what we're looking up to next. And I'm quite confident they'll be terribly impressed with that car when it comes in. It's
You will have
cutting edge
challenge
technology.
to make people wait for the car. Allocation is always a problem, isn't it?
I mean, the ultimate issue with our segment of cars is rarity.
Exactly.
So we always have one more customer than we can make. Is the ideal scenario.
Always. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
speaking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you.